Why do Muslims hate dogs?
While dogs are such amazing, curious, and playful creatures, as well as being extremely loyal to humans, dogs are basically the GOAT. They're just straight up amazing. It's still an interesting question for who didn't grow up in that culture.
Why do Muslims hate dogs?
First of all, hello everyone and welcome to About Animals channel. First off, let's clear the air. The Prophet Muhammad said, "There is none amongst the Muslims who plants a tree or sows seeds, and then a bird or a person or an animal eats from it, but is regarded as a charitable gift for him." So, the vibe is definitely, be kind to every living thing. So what's the deal? At that point, I have to say that when it comes to dogs, Muslims have some specific ground rules. It basically boils down to 3 main points, or 3 questions. Question number 1, why you got a dog? The Prophet Muhammad, when he said, "He who keeps a dog for any reason other than to guard his property or his flock of sheep, his good deeds equal to 2 karat will be deducted every day," which reveals that Muslims are not allowed to own dogs except for 3 purposes. The logic here is that blowing a ton of money on a pet when you don't need to takes you out of the circle of being kind to dogs and into the circle of wasting money. And wasting money or wasting anything is forbidden in Islam. And as the Prophet Muhammad said when one of his companions asked him, "Is there an extravagance in ablution?" he said, "Yes, and if you were beside a flowing river. Plus, it doesn't feel kind of a good thing to keep an animal out of its natural habitat just for fun." Another last reason, which is going to lead us to question number 2. What is the najasa? Due to Muslims believe that there is a God for this world, they also believe that he is the all-knowing and the one with infinite knowledge and the complete truth of everything. Therefore, they do not tire themselves out by understanding the reason behind everything that God Almighty tells them. But they also do not stop trying to interpret what God tells them in order to strengthen their faith and also to search for the correct way to implement it. Well, so now you have to know that in Islam, there's this concept called impurity materials, or najasa in Arabic, which is basically ritual impurity. It's not just about germs or being dirty in a way science can track. It's a spiritual thing. There are different levels of it depending on its severity, minor, medium, and major, and dog saliva is considered major najasa. Basically the highest tier of it. If a dog licks you or your clothes, you can't just wipe it off. You have to do a whole specific cleaning ritual to get right again. Some scholars doesn't agree. The drool is a deal breaker, although most of them agree with that. Question number 3, why you own dogs in the crib? Keeping a dog inside the house is a total no-go. The Prophet said, "Angels do not enter a house in which there is a dog," whether it's because of the spit, the cost, or just letting the dog live its best life outside. Muslims follow the play, even if they don't have the full why. God tells them to use their brains and think all the time when he said 10 times in Quran, verses with multiple different ways. Don't they think? As a rhetorical question, like urging them always to think, but also to respect the boundaries of what humans can actually understand. Anyway, I hope that sheds some light on the Muslim world, the animal world as well. Thanks for hanging out. Stay tuned for more. Catch you later, and goodbye.